Welcome, everybody, back to the Assuminati podcast. Woo-hoo! There's the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Uncle Bobby. That was great. That's what we need. More Uncle Bobby in our life. Today, we're going to be talking about TV series, episodes, shows that we feel are overrated. Shows that we know for a fact are popular. People watch them, but we don't get it. We're going to present those today.
I'm afraid we're going to make some enemies.
We're going to make some enemies. This is the show that may start a fight. We may have to take a week off from our friendship. We've done it before.
Not if you guys are reasonable.
Well, wow. So he's already playing that card.
Well, we'll find out, but,
As long as you guys are reasonable, this is going to work out. So let's get into it. Let's dive into it. Let's start with our veteran of the group, our senior citizen.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say we've never heard of this show that Matt's going to introduce to us.
For most overrated?
Most overrated. Yeah. Now, this is a hater show. This is where Matt's going to shine. I think we're going to give him a little bit of
what do you mean?
He might
because I'm a hater?
He may attack a modern show that you know and love, Robert. Can you give us any hints, Matt?
Yes, the show about nothing.
Oh no!
Yep, I'm going right for it. No. Here it comes.
You can't
get ready.
This.
The most overrated show of all time is Seinfeld.
Yeah, but you gotta admit it's super entertaining, and you don't even have to follow the plot line.
No, there is no plot. That's the point. It's dumb. From start to finish. It's just dumb.
My heart it hurts so bad.
I knew.
Thing is it reminds me of like all of our conversations that are just nothing, but we can carry on for hours
and make a show. Oh man, Seinfeld is okay. Matt, do you have any kind of an explanation for yourself, sir? Because you just started a war.
It's just annoying to watch. I can't sit through an episode of Seinfeld. I just can't do it. I've tried numerous times, and I've watched a lot of Seinfeld, unfortunately, but I just can't get into it. I just can't do it. It's
you don't
so
like the
dumb.
Kramer?
No, not really. It's so dumb. What's that guy's name? Michael something. Recently under fire for his racial stuff.
I haven't heard.
I can't remember. Yeah, he's a racist guy. So there's that, but don't even get me started that way. It's just not a very funny show. You'd think it would be funnier for having the reputation that it's got, and for having a comedian be the lead, and it's just not.
Okay.
Not funny.
So are you talking about Michael Richards?
Michael Richards.
Yeah, who plays Kramer. He had his moment. Yeah, he had a moment, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he offended a lot of people and with the racial rant and stuff like that. So
but today, who hasn't offended a lot of people?
That's true.
I know I have.
People do get offended easily, but I'm just saying there's not a whole lot of sensitivity when it comes, when you're in the public eye and you make a racial rant like that. It's probably not all that.
Yeah. So
it's really just wrong.
Is there anything that you like about the show? Can you kind of see why it's so popular? Kind of. Can you kind of see?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I can see why people would like it. My favorite character was Newman. Just saying. Mm-hmm. And
I do like Newman.
Most people I talked to really didn't like Newman, the character, but I'm just saying, that was my favorite.
Sworn enemy of Jerry.
Favorite part of that show.
Ah, that hurts, Matt.
But Jerry Seinfeld is just not funny generally to me, even today.
Okay.
Even all of his any appearance he's ever on, he just rubs me the wrong way. Something about his personality just doesn't jive with me.
He is the master of words. It is. He's the master of observational humor, and that it has its audience. I feel you on that, Matt. I feel you on that. Sure. I happen to be in the camp where I place Seinfeld into the top 5 shows of all time. So that does hurt. That hurts me a lot. It does. It hurts me a lot.
And here I am right in the middle. I'll turn on Seinfeld. I'll watch it for hours, but I'm not out looking for it. It's usually it's just on.
I just watched an episode yesterday, and I was just entertained the entire time. Wow.
So what's your favorite episode?
Can't do it.
My personal favorite episode? This isn't about me. This is about Matt. I could defend Seinfeld all night.
Okay, I'll give you my favorite episode of Seinfeld.
Okay.
And I haven't seen that many of them. Okay. But it's for some reason the episode where Kramer is in the shower washing his lettuce.
Yes. Yes.
That is a good one.
Kind of.
Yes.
That one kind of sticks with me. All right. And that's kind of funny, but like,
my personal favorite is when Kramer and Newman get the idea that they're going to return a bunch of bottles to Michigan for 10 cents each and make a fortune. And they use Newman's postal.
The mail truck.
Card.
Yeah.
And growing up in Michigan, I thought
remember that one too.
That's what got me hooked on the show is, I've thought of that idea. And now they're depicting it in a show. And then I really got into it from there. But wow.
I don't know. You can't top the soup Nazi, though.
Right. And then you've one of the greatest characters.
Okay,
of all
so
time.
there are some moments that are classic, that come out of that show. But
just overall,
it's still overall, it's overrated in my opinion. Probably the most overrated show that I could think of.
You've got a lot of people in your camp on that one. So I can totally see where you're coming from for sure.
Well, that's my pick. So we can go and check before we get into a brawl here. We can check Uncle Bobby and see what he's thinking.
Wow.
Are you ready to lay it on us, Bobby? Can you give us any hints?
Has something to do with your mother.
And how you met her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in the day when I met your mother, how I met your mother, like Matt's saying about Seinfeld, it had its moments, but overall that show just kept going and going and going and going. And by the end, I had just given up on how he met the kid's mother. I'll just probably never know.
I'm with you.
They've got some star power in that show, and they hooked me that first season. I'll admit it.
First season was good.
Yeah.
Went downhill from there.
I'm a big Jason Segel fan. Neil Patrick Harris, I think he's a super talented dude. Allison Hannigan from back in the day. They lost me though pretty quick. So I'm with you, man.
Yeah, if it can't hold your attention for very long, I agree with you, Robert. I feel like that's a show that would be overrated for sure.
Basically every episode was the same plot line.
It felt like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had some clever jokes. They had award-winning writers, so they would somehow win Emmys and whatnot and accolades. Oh man, anything that you liked about the show that you can kind of understand why people like it? Do you have any of that?
Know. It was a good cast. There was star power, like you said, but ultimately, I think they got in a few laughs, but end to end, they should have cut it after 2 or 3 seasons.
Yes, absolutely. It should have been one of those shows that ended a lot earlier than it did. And I forgot to ask Matt, did you have any honorable mentions? Any other shows that you were considering for that?
Yeah, you're probably not going to like this one either. But here it comes. It's the Cosby Show.
Ooh. That one hurts too.
I kind of knew that you would be in that category.
I had every comedy album. I had I loved every commercial he did. That was the highest rated show for years. It was a powerhouse.
That is why I eat Jell-O.
Yeah. Wow. That's okay. But I don't think you'll have too many people fighting you on that one based on what's come out since. So
that's true actually.
Did you have any honorable mentions, Robert?
Little House on the Prairie. Whoa. Very overrated.
Dang, taking shots at a previous generation.
My grandparents used to have that on all the time. They felt like it was good, wholesome TV. And honestly, I can't stand watching Little House on the Prairie.
It never held my attention either. We watched a lot of it. I know my parents were big on the fact that we had a local hero in that show, Olsen. The lineman. Right. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah, Merlin Olsen for Olsen. Utah State University.
Right?
Yep.
Go to
Aggies. I got the same information from my parents too. That's why we watched that show, and it happened to be like one of the, like you said, Brandon, wholesome. It was one of the only ones that we were kind of allowed to watch when I was a kid.
That and the Waltons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind
Night
of
John Boy.
like the Waltons. Not John Boy. Not Mary Sue. Okay, well, that's a pretty good honorable mention. Man, I don't think you have too many people fighting on How I Met Your Mother, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Yours. Yes.
Let's throw it out there.
I don't even know how to.
It's gonna be some girly show.
I don't know how it's. So if you're in the same camp that Matt is in, it's either you liked Seinfeld and hated this show because they were happening at the same time. They were battling for supremacy. This tends to be the Civil War of 90s, early 2000s sitcoms. Were you Beatles or Rolling Stones? Are you Coke or Pepsi? Did you like Seinfeld or did you like
Friends?
So I don't get it.
Yeah.
What a catchy tune. I get that. They hook you with the tune. They hook you with lovable characters, lovable faces, great looking people. They were dating celebrities themselves. They became celebrities themselves, but I don't get it. I've tried over and over to like it, and I just can't do it.
It's freaking hilarious.
I can't do it. One thing I'd like you to try is to go on YouTube and Google Friends without a laugh track and see how you feel.
Okay. Do the same with Seinfeld.
Same.
Interesting.
I've done the same with Fresh Prince, Seinfeld, anything with a live audience, Home Improvement, one of my other favorite shows. And I feel like those other shows hold up with their jokes. I don't feel the same way about Friends. It feels really awkward.
Friends is also a show about nothing.
Kind of, yeah. Right?
It's really the same plot as Seinfeld. It's just instead of Jerry's apartment, it's in the cafe.
And I didn't get, there's so many plot holes that even as a teenager I recognized, and it just immediately turned me off. I had zero desire to fit in with that type of a lifestyle. I didn't get why they wanted to live the way that they did. The logistics of how they afforded that apartment in that section of Manhattan or New York as baristas.
Well, Rachel came from money.
So Rachel,
and there were like 6 of them.
Rachel apparently inherited the apartment from her aunt or grandma. I watched Friends enough. I really did give it a chance because everybody else loved it, and I just didn't get it. Of course, Courtney Cox and
Jennifer Aniston. I even liked Phoebe. They were all good-looking people. Lisa Kudrow. Yeah,
loved them. Yeah,
Phoebe's crazy.
Any one of those people were funnier than Jerry Seinfeld.
They were good.
Jerry Seinfeld sucks.
I just didn't feel the same way, Matt. I just never got into it. It's I don't feel the show evolved at all.
No, it just went on and on and on.
Which some people make the same argument for Seinfeld. It's a never evolving show. They were getting paid $1 million each per episode by the end.
Yeah.
So there's no disputing how popular it was.
I'd take it.
I just couldn't get it.
I would too.
I just never got into it. There's a lot of conspiracy fan theory. Did you guys look into any fan theories about these shows that you're hating on?
No.
There's a conspiracy with Friends that I thought was really funny. That the entire show was in Rachel's head. There's an episode, I believe it was her wedding episode, and she flashes back to when the series, like before the series even started, and there's a lot of fan conspiracy that the entire show was inside her head, that she had
how deep that is.
Fantasized the entire thing.
That's some good writing.
There's another conspiracy that it was all in Phoebe's head, and that Phoebe is a drug addict. If you pay attention to some of the things that she mentions throughout the show, she grew up on the streets. She had a drug addict mom.
Yeah.
They actually feel that it's one big drug trip from Phoebe.
It could be.
There's a lot of
It would have been crazier if that was the case.
I think so. And then how did they always get the couch? I know they've explained that one through Gunther, and he crushes on Rachel, I think. And so he always keeps the couch open for him. again, in that area of Manhattan, in that area of New York, Greenwich, was it Greenwich Village, I think. Again, I watched
a pricey area.
I watched the show. Their apartment would have cost, I think I looked it up and did the conversion, $7,000 to $9,000 a month for
Chump change
for an apartment with a balcony in that area of town. Anyway. Okay, I just don't get it. My honorable mentions. I know. Okay. Listen, think of the shows that we just picked. We just dissed some of the highest rated shows of all time. Friends, How I Met Your Mother. That was dominant. That was dominant. It really was. It was at the top of the charts.
It was out there for years.
My honorable mention, I had two of them. One was a show that I loved with all of my heart for the first 4 or 5 seasons, The Walking Dead.
I thought it was going to be like Vampire Diaries.
Zombie killing at its finest. And then they got into these people conflicts, and it sucks. It was horrible. They killed off, I don't want to spoil it, but they killed off the best character, Glenn, twice. My other honorable mention was really going to start a war. This was the close second, was Big Bang Theory. What do you think of that?
So Big Bang Theory, it's a show that I really enjoy watching, but I don't know. The one that I think is truly overrated is the spinoff, the Sheldon thing.
It's
young Sheldon.
Little young Sheldon, yeah.
It's got
but the Big Bang Theory is funny.
I love the Big Bang Theory.
You have to kind of be a smart person, though.
See, that's what they say. That's exactly what they say. Is if you're not smart, you don't get it. That's actually the part of the show that I love, is the science jokes. Yeah, and there's a lot of them. I just it's such a predictable. Anyway, I really
like that Mayim Bialik. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but she's freaking funny.
Yeah,
do you know she's really like. She's truly intelligent. She has was on a podcast I listened to, and it was just really good. Like I learned a lot about her.
She's a PhD, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
some
isn't she an astrophysicist or something like that?
Yeah, I think she is.
She's actually a really smart person, unlike everyone else on the Big Bang Theory.
And who plays Sheldon? I already forgot his name.
I can't remember his name either.
He's cool. I actually like him as a person. He's a pretty cool sports fan. He's I believe a Dallas area resident.
He's funny. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
those guys are pretty funny.
I gotta say, Big Bang Theory was well done.
Yeah. And I understand. I understand why people like it. I couldn't get into it. So because I'm not
the whole penny thing.
I'm not smart enough. So.
Yeah, well,
Oh my goodness. Well, anything else you want to tackle? Any other wars you'd like to start with? Most overrated. We hit some of the big ones. That's kind of what I was hoping for, but I think we hate each other now.
No, I still love you guys.
Still love.
Oh, okay.
Nothing but love.
Okay.
So in today's episode, we learned that Matt doesn't like Seinfeld, and that's unconscionable. And we also learned
unconscionable.
Unconscionable. I can't talk. That's how much you upset me over this whole Seinfeld thing.
Woo! I got you that mad.
Yeah. We also learned that Brandon's not intelligent enough to like the Big Bang Theory. Until next time, put a comment below. What do you think about what the most overrated shows are? Subscribe. Come back next time for something else that we might say that might piss you off. Have a good day.
What we're good at. Roll the music. Camille.
There you go.
Jello. I can't do it. That's a bad. Robert,
it was a good one. Good impression.
Camille. Theo.
Oh my gosh.
Good Theo.
Put the Fresca down and start thinking about other people.
We could do a little dance, maybe.
Yeah.
Recap us,
today
Robert.
Is Brandon stupid?
Or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Brandon's not smart enough to get it.